Thank you to coming to this side event organized by CAPLC and in collaboration with Human Rights Without Frontières on this 28th UPR session. So this side event is about the case of Guru JARA, and I will introduce first speaker, Dr. Filip Manek, and he will speak about life and mission of Guru JARA.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce you the life story and mission of the spiritual master, philosopher, and artist and spiritual writer, Mr. JAROSLAV DOBES, also well known as Guru JARA, a man whose 25 years long spiritual journey is influencing and inspiring the followers from all over the world. My name is Filip Manek, and I'm a Guru JARA's student and friend for 20 years. Guru JARA was born in January 1971 in former Czechoslovakia under the communist regime. At the age of 18, he recognizes the discomfort with living in atheistic society and decides to escape for freedom to Italy. His destination is Rome and Vatican, where he studies on Christian holy scriptures with Catholic monks. In upcoming years, his spiritual quests lead him to India, Himalayas, and Egypt, where he meets his spiritual master. After years of intensive studies and practices, he achieves the highest states of their teachings and initiations. In 1995, he returns back to Czech Republic to share his spiritual experience. Over the next few years, the spiritual group around him rapidly grows and expands. JAROSLAV DOBES is organizing hundreds of public teachings and spiritual seminars and festivals. He is also establishing 2 monasteries for his disciples. The followers are mostly highly educated people, engineers, businessmen, judges, university professors, etc. In 1999, he leads the spiritual seminars at Mindoro in Philippines. Around the year of 2000, his activities are noticed by anti-cult movement, and they mark his group as the fastest growing alternative movements in Czech Republic. By 2004, he has already helped to uplift the lives of thousands of followers of all social levels. In that year, the interest of public is so high that he establishes the esoteric institute POETRIE for studies on meditation, yoga, feng shui, astrology, and other spiritual disciplines. He starts to focus more on foreign students in the world and spent most of the time abroad. From that time, he returns to Czech Republic only for bigger events. At that time, the tolerance of the religious minorities in society has decreased significantly from the years of President Havel's period in 90s. The media don't inform about the spiritual activities anymore. The group's attempts to register as a religious foundation, which is rejected, and their monastery in Beskedy Mountains is set on fire by unknown arsonists. JAROSLAV DOBES is experienced 2 serious attempts at physical harm of his health. The situation goes so far that in spring 2007, JAROSLAV DOBES and his assistant Barbora Plášková leave the Czech Republic because they feel threatened. At the time, no charges are filed against them yet. They focus mainly on the work with foreign students and on art. The POETRIE institution continues to grow and teach without significant changes. They stay in Nepal, where in Himalaya mountains JAROSLAV DOBES creates his famous teaching on spiritual trekking. 2 years later, due to the worsening political situation, they move to Philippines, where they stay for several months. In February 2009, Mr. DOBES, together with Barbora Plášková, moves for the Philippines to find a peaceful place which is open to follow the faith and spiritual practice. They rest in Philippines until today. Back in Czech Republic, few former lecturers apostates along with the Czech anti-cult movement start the smear media campaigns against them. Their reputation suffers, students start to leave, and finally, the POETRIE institution is forced to close. From this point on, until the arrest of JAROSLAV DOBES, the process very remarkably reminds the story of many other alternative organizations around the world, according to FECRI scenario. The situation culminates by armed secret police raid at the homes of female poetry lecturers in October 2010. Jaroslav Dobeš and Barbara Plášková are accused, and Czech media are flooded by mendacious articles and TV reports. This massive slanderous campaign completely devastates the reputation of the whole group in public opinion and also significantly reduces the number of followers. Many are discouraged from the faith in their guru. Year 2010 means for Jaroslav Dobeš and the whole group totally new situation. Jaroslav Dobeš himself comments those affairs as something that someone who lived in the President Havel era cannot imagine. He works with the Japanese and Americans, and he relied on the legal democratic system of Czech Republic to solve the situation. There was no reason to worry about this propaganda. Spiritual-oriented and educated followers are shocked that they are viewed as criminals. They decided to show who their teacher really is and organize public exhibitions of Jaroslav Dobeš teachings and art. To identify themselves, they form a religious society called Path of Guru Jara. In 2011, Jaroslav Dobeš founds a paradise ashram in Siargao Islands in Philippines. His teaching is based on searching individual spiritual paths and fulfilling one's life mission. He begins to organize international seminars that attracts followers from all over the world, mainly from Japan, Russia, United States, and also other nationalities. The ashram is growing fast and is always full of students searching for peaceful practicing of their faith. This period brings also more time for developing of his teachings. Through his book and art and spiritual courses, he continues to expand his global influence. He fully presents his artistic works and gains international success during the exhibition in Stockholm, Athens, Moscow, and Tokyo. Among local people, he is very popular and respected. He supports local activities, hospitals, and cultural events. Later, when needed, they express their support. On Siargao Island, he meets also his current partner, with whom he has a 5-year-old daughter. In 2014, prefabricated trials is taking place in Czech Republic and results in 10 years of imprisonment. And on 15th of May 2015, Jaroslav Dobeš is apprehended in his ashram while meditating under the holy tree, and he is transported to the immigration detention camp in Manila. Just a few days later, the sentence is completely annulled by the Supreme Court of Olomouc. Despite of the presumption of innocence, he remains in custody until today. His foreign followers and members as well, they remember what he did for them and who he really is. And in 2016, as a form of support, they registered their movements abroad. The church called Path of Guru Jara is registered in Philippines and in the United States. Despite of the difficult situation and condition, serious health problem, and 2 years spent in detention camp, Jaroslav Dobeš still continues to fulfill his mission. He is very popular there. He teaches and helps people around him and continues in writing books. From his imprisonment, he has finished already his 7th book written in detention, which is 21st book in total. Due to his stay in detention, his opportunities of work with public is very limited. His church, disciples, and family suffers. Considering the presumption of innocence, this unique person could use his creative potential much more in normal condition. Individual spiritual approach and leadership has a tradition in Czech Republic, but although most of the mystics were misunderstood, such massive persecution never happened. Due to the practices used, we have a serious concern about his life. In the Czech Republic, neither protection nor tolerance is guaranteed to him, and he is viewed in a degrading way. His mission, as we have understood, is to spread individual spirituality to people and not to be persecuted. At the very final, let me play a 2-minute video from the trailer from upcoming documentary movie about Guru Jara.
Osobně založením jsem spíše poutník, tak jak svatí mužové v Indii, sádhuové, putující mniši, ale klášter jsem založil téměř před 20 lety, hned na počátku své práce s lidmi, aby se vytvořilo klima, mikroklima, které by lidem plně zapojeným do každodenního života umožňovalo na chvíli přepnout do jiného vědomí.
Thank you very much for your attention.